saw the sun for the first time today. It's been so long, I thought you'd gone.
Good evening and welcome to Queries. I'm Brian, your host.
And I'm Jeremy, your co-host.
And this evening we have Second Alibi in the studio. Adam has been, you've been with our show for 6 years now?
Yeah.
7 years? It feels like 20.
It's been a while.
It's been a long time. And you are here with Cody, your cohort in crime,
Yeah.
so to speak.
It's a good way to put it.
Good way to put it. So why don't you, for those who don't know who Second Alibi is, why don't you tell everyone who Second Alibi is?
Okay. Well, I used to be a solo artist, and I eventually wanted to be in a group, so I launched a search called the Ohio Boy Band Search, and we were picked up by a Boston blog, and it went national. We were getting submissions from all over the country, and I was also like looking around online, on YouTube and Twitter and all that stuff, trying to find, some singers. And I came across Cody, and I really liked his music and everything that he was doing, so I reached out to him, and he thought I was crazy at first, because he was just like, this isn't real.
Yeah.
Does it still feel not real?
At first. No, I've gotten used to it.
Gotten used to it now? So when you found his music, did he actually submit directly to you, or did you find him on YouTube? Or?
Yeah, I first found him on YouTube.
Gotcha.
He wasn't actually one of the official submissions, but he sent in his stuff afterwards, after I was begging him to submit something.
Gotcha. So what made you finally submit?
Well, I was in my second year in school at IU, Indiana, and I've been producing and singing since I was little. And I've just progressively getting better at it as older I was getting, and I was just but I have a kind of a lot of social anxiety.
Okay.
So it's hard for me to talk about myself or just to go out in general.
Sure.
But which is weird because performing I don't have any problem with that at all. So that's odd. But so I was just well, if I'm gonna do anything with it, I really need to start networking a bit. And I was just well, I might as well give it a shot. I don't know what the worst thing is gonna happen. And then it turned out all right so far.
Yeah, so far so good. Day by day.
Kind of gave you side eye on that. It turned out okay.
Every day.
It gets a little better every day.
I don't know.
I don't know if it's better. Nice. So did Adam familiarize you with his music in the past, so you could get a sense of?
He did let me know, and he was kind of telling him. He was kind of, I guess, I don't want to say selling yourself to me.
I kind of had to.
But
to get him to.
He did a good job, and he had a lot of experience. And then I saw some of his music, and it was kind of, and I was kind of digging it. And he's a very good lyricist, and I find that kind of hard to. It's difficult to find that in people because a lot of people just want to throw it all together and just put it on SoundCloud or something.
Right.
And be the next big thing.
Exactly.
Behind
Right.
it, yeah.
Which doesn't happen. And then he's actually helped me a lot with kind of refining everything because I'm, I guess, one of those people. It just kind of impressed me with, he had a lot of determination, and I liked that a lot because a lot of people, especially with music, because everyone sings or does music, and a lot of people just don't have that drive.
I don't.
I don't either, actually.
I could tell.
Neither of them.
Just imagine the worst American Idol contestant wannabe whose mother always told him he was born to be a singer, and then make that about 10 times worse.
Oh, no.
That's right. I can appreciate music. I just can't make it at all.
So was this kind of your idea behind the search, Adam? When you were first initially doing this, you knew that you had kind of this behind the scenes expertise, if you will, and you just needed maybe someone who...
I was going back and forth originally on, whether I was even going to be in the group or not.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if my age would, have any negative effect on the group or anything. At the time I was only 25, now I'm 26.
You're 21.
Dear God, really?
No, but early on, we
Right.
would go into meetings and they would immediately say you should lie about your age, or you should do this, you should be this, and we eventually made the decision to produce and write, the entire album ourselves.
Wow.
So You know.
So that gave you the creative and artistic license to do whatever that you wanted, because
It did, yeah.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, because I know other than what I gleaned from the interwebs and stuff, that in the music industry, I mean, one of the complaints I have about American music, just in general, because I prefer European stuff, is that, honestly speaking, everything is so. If it's not like Britney, then or if it's not like In Sync,
It has to fit a mold.
It has to fit
Exactly.
this ridiculous mold that it's kind of pointless. That's why I think that traditional, I would guess, standard mainstream pop music
Right.
is kind of crap. So I like
Yeah.
Britpop, and
of
I even
course.
I listen to crap from Finland and the Netherlands and all that stuff, and it's so much better. The lyrics are so much better. The
Right.
albums actually truly tell a story.
Yeah.
So is that kind of the path you guys creatively wanted to go down?
Yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
we wanted to we knew what genres we wanted to cover, but everybody just kept telling us to write a basic pop song or do something.
I
and
kept
we didn't
cracking
want
at
to.
it, and it just never really happened, I guess, because we just don't really do that.
Right.
And we have a lot of the same similar musical influences, and of course we do some American artists, but we do listen to a lot of European music as well, and we don't like to make any of our songs sound the same or very generic or anything like that.
Right.
I mean, there's always things you kind of have to stick to, just structurally, so people don't get
Sure.
what is happening.
Right.
But yeah, we do like to be really as creative as we can without being just too
out
outside of
there.
the box. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. No, that makes sense.
And do you two think the environment exists in the music industry to kind of not fit that mold, but still be the next big thing?
It's risky because if you want to get distribution, and that's what we've been trying to get for the past year. We have labels that are interested in distributing our project, but we have to first prove that what we want and who we are is sellable.
Gotcha.
That they are able to then profit off of their decision.
So that would be where you'd be pointing to things like iTunes or
Right.
Amazon Music or what have you, that if you can show that you've got some momentum.
Right.
But I think it's more of the sound too that they want. They want you to have
Yeah,
that
exactly.
sound.
I was just
This
thinking
needs to
about
be the
that.
next top 40 hit.
Exactly.
Right.
So it needs to sound like every other top 40 hit before it. So do you think that there's this kind of shift in the music industry? Because what I think is that there's this popular music scene, and then there's this tremendous underground music scene. And moving to Dayton's kind of shown me that. You guys are part of that scene.
Right.
It's-
In the past, I want to say 5 years, I think indie music's gotten more popular, actually, especially with just developing music. A lot of people have now more of the ability to just do it by themselves without having to sell out.
You don't need those
And
thousands of
conform,
dollars for
yeah,
studio
and they'll make these videos, and they'll just do it on a low budget, and it's very simple. But the music is still very good because we've gotten to a point, tech-wise, where everyone has the ability to make it clean, and if they just put enough work in, they can pretty much just sound like anything else on the radio.
Well, and that's why especially with because I have a paid membership to Spotify and also through Apple Music, and my thing is I'll start with a well-known artist and then dig down deeper from there, because again, I could care less about Britney Spears or
Right.
even
Yeah.
this will probably get me shot out in the parking lot, but Lady Gaga, I could care less about artists like that, because again, I prefer something that's more real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. So what's been the hardest part about this delightful marriage between the two of you, and figuratively speaking, not that you two are married, but
Face, please. No way.
no. What have you learned about yourselves, and have you been able to really work off of one another? And
We have.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. In some ways, it was easier. In others, it was much more difficult than I expected. But we have really gotten past the difficult stuff.
It took a lot of work.
It did.
We have very opposite personalities.
We do.
And we don't really have much in common besides music. So it's kind of, which is
That's
actually kind
interesting.
of nice though,
Right.
because I'm a workaholic though, so I don't want to kind of mix like my friends and like my work at the same time. So it's actually kind of nice. We don't have anything else in common.
Yeah.
So we can just get it done.
Do the work itself.
Right.
Well, that's cool. Man, I was hoping for some sort of like knockdown, drag out,
No.
hair pulling, incident. Or
Well, after we nearly killed each other, that's when the real work started.
I've thrown some stuff, but I've grown up a little.
We had our moments.
Had your moments?
What was difficult?
Yeah.
You say that the personalities are different. Was the style different?
It was difficult because like in the beginning I was managing us, like I was getting us off the ground. I was trying to do all of this. So when I have that authority over something that both of us are like,
You will respect my authority.
well, and I mean I had
talked
certain
about it.
yeah I had certain points to where
Sure.
I kind of went a little crazy with it, but I felt like it was necessary at the time to.
Well, but you've also
continue.
been doing this for years.
Right, yeah.
So, I mean, you know, kind of, because you've had good experiences, you've had some really bad experiences.
Yes, I have.
So you kind of know the ups and downs, the pitfalls and
Right.
all that.
Yeah,
so.
like I know the ins and outs of booking a tour and doing all that stuff.
Yeah.
And so it does come in handy in this situation.
Right.
But
Well,
it's a lot of work, like he was
yeah.
saying. I can imagine. You're trying to contribute to the group and at the same time
Right.
promote.
Oh, yeah.
it's-
It kind of took me a while to learn that after
Yeah.
a while, since I've never done like the media aspect of it or like promoting, or because I've always just made the music. And so I think a lot of that attention was because I wasn't realizing how much work goes into all this other stuff because I'd never
Right.
seen it before. And I was wondering, I was like, why are you so stressed all the time?
Yeah,
I was like, I don't understand.
And you're trying to get more out of him. And thinking, what on earth
Exactly.
is
Like
wrong?
I'm
Yeah.
trying to because like I love the artistic side of it, but it's hard to like commit to that when you have all this other stuff going on.
Yeah. But we found a balance.
Found a balance. Yeah. Well, the fact that you're still here, and both of you, and that the band either hasn't broken up or one of you is dead is probably a testament to the fact that
Would it be me or you?
I don't know.
depends on the day.
We'll find out.
Yeah.
Well, how's the environment in Dayton been? As an up-and-coming group in Dayton, how is it different? I'm sure you know people who are in New York trying to do the same thing you're doing.
Yeah.
In bigger cities. Is it?
We've actually had more success like outside of Dayton. We have actually had a lot of venues kind of turn their back on us, which again I experienced. Yeah, I experienced that when I was touring on my own.
Wow.
That's weird.
Yeah, the Dayton, like the last Dayton venue that I played was McGuffey's, which I think is either closed or it's changed or something.
So what you're saying is that you closed it down.
yes.
You had a stealth campaign.
I did. That
Well,
was
that's why
heck
no
with
one
it.
in Dayton's picking you up. You're close
They're afraid.
McGuffies.
Oh man.
But is it neat to work in this environment? I mean, are you awarded luxuries that you wouldn't be if you were in New York? I mean, are there?
Yeah, our studio, we record at Purple Monkey Recording Studios here in Dayton, and they have just been extremely supportive. That discount.
No, it's actually really nice because I kind of like it because it's a bit more secluded of an
It is,
area,
yeah.
and it's nice to like get away and record instead of just being like in a like a busy like environment. I guess when you're doing that because you just want to kind of focus and just like let everything else go.
Right.
So I've actually found that really nice. We have done like shows in like Chicago and other areas, but not too much here. But we're more just kind of like a home base, like recording and like creating here,
Yeah.
and then we'll like travel and do that stuff.
Okay.
So you're releasing your album.
Yes.
So what was the inspiration behind it?
The struggles between the two of us was, really big inspiration in the beginning, and we were both going through our own like difficult things in our personal lives, and it kind of, it inspired the whole process, and we were able to incorporate those emotions and those lyrics into dance music, which was probably like the most difficult part. But once we got it, we got it.
Yeah,
Like,
it was hard to like kind of find a like niche, I guess, for it.
It was.
because we both loved very like emotional music and stuff that had like good lyrics and a good message, and you get kind of like a good story, kind of
Right.
like country music does. Even though I'm not like a huge fan of country music,
Right.
like they do tell good stories,
yeah.
and that's kind of what we wanted to incorporate it. But we both just loved dance music too,
Yeah.
and like the aspects from like modern pop music and dance music because it's very catchy, but without it being too repetitive or just like kind of shallow, or I guess just not like going anywhere.
Right.
So we kind of wanted to like meld
Yeah.
those two.
Now, does it now in terms of the again, because I brought up, a lot of, European bands that I listen to, like their album, it literally does tell a story. Is this one song, this is Adam's story, this one's Cody's story, or this is both your story, or is it?
We talked about going back and forth, and we kind of, after a while, we kind of just decided we kind of like both being on each song, and it's not the same for each one. There's definitely more songs where you're more prevalent, and there's more songs where I am, and we kind of would just touch base while we're writing and have a similar message, I guess, because surprisingly, we've both been through a lot of the same
We have been, yeah.
issues, so we would just kind of bond over that while we're writing, and then we would just kind of sing the parts that we felt more connected to, I suppose, or they're more suited to our voices, because he has a much slower voice than I
do.
ever could have. When I reach puberty someday.
Well, I mean, at both your ages, you're barely beyond fetal stage, and you're technically a fetus based on my age. So, I guess you guys are going to be performing.
Yes.
What song are you going to be performing?
We're going to be performing our second single, Lost.
Lost. And is there anything in particular in regard to that song? What was the inspiration for this? Is it that you were both lost? Did you drive somewhere and got lost? What was the inspiration for?
Yes.
Did you watch the show Lost?
Is that all this really is about? A detailed
It
account
was
of it?
more about, with titles, I guess, we always kind of think of that later while we're doing it, and I guess with the title, we just try to pick the thing that kind of stood out the most, I guess, or what we think about when we listen to that song, and it's more about a situation. Well, I know when I first started writing it, it was about me ending a bad relationship, and then I was like wondering, I don't know if this was like the right idea for me, and I was feeling kind of like off, and I was just like, well, I'm not sure if I can like adjust like as much, like as easy as I have like all the other times, and I'm not really sure what I'm doing right now. And that's kind of what it was about, and it was just kind of about like missing that person, kind of wanting a sense of security, I guess.
Excellent.
Yeah.
All right, well, we are going to break so that way Second Alibi can get all geared up and sing their second single from their album, Lost. So we will be back after the song.
Come and find your way back to me. Come and find your way. Without you I'm feeling empty. Got everything to say. Thought I didn't need you, baby, until you went away. Now that I don't have you with me, got everything to say. Just be with me now before I start to drown. Lay your head on my chest while mine's in the clouds. I'm feeling lost now. Can't scream or shout. Broke my heart when you left. Lost. Not torn up, I can feel it now. With every breath I take, opened up my eyes and realized you were my only strength. Thought I didn't need you, baby, until you went away. Now that I don't have you with me, regret it every day. Just be with me now before I start to drown. Lay your head on my chest while mine's in the clouds. I'm feeling lost now. Can't scream or shout. Broke my heart when you left. Ooh, lost.
Hello, this is Bartending. I'm Joe, and this is my partner in crime, Jimmy. We've got a couple drinks we want to show you today. The one I'm making is going to be called a green tea. It's got a little bit of Jameson Irish whiskey and a little bit of peach schnapps. And I usually like mine equal parts of each. So I do about a half pour of each liqueur and top off with sour mix. And give it a little mix. And go ahead and try that for me, Jimmy.
Okie dokie. I never say no to free booze, ever. Tastes just like a green tea, who would have thought? But I'm gonna counteract you with something that really seems a little different. I'm gonna make you an applesauce shot. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna fill up a shaker with ice. For those that don't have a shaker at home, basic things that you could use as shakers, use some Tupperware. It's a basic thing to use, but crack the lid, it strains the ice from the drink, so it's very easy.
Or a 5-gallon bucket.
That
Depends on how
works
much you
too.
drink.
So in this drink, there'll be Fireball and pineapple juice. You're gonna do 1 full ounce of Fireball and then equal parts of pineapple juice. You're gonna shake. And then you will strain into your shot glass of choice. Hopefully it's yours and not your guest's. You need to enjoy this shot.
Where's my 5-gallon bucket? That is good too. It tastes just like cinnamon applesauce. It's awesome.
Well, that's the 2 drinks for the day. Hope you guys enjoy a great night. See you next time.
And welcome back. Well, thank you guys for the performance there as far as your song. Is that one of your favorites?
It's one of my personal favorites. Yes.
Well, so did you did a majority of the, who did a majority of the writing on it?
It was equal.
I'm more of a melodist, really,
Yeah.
and so I would come up with like the flow and like the rhythm, and I would come up with like some words, and you would kind of help me like refine it, I guess, and make it more like easy to follow, I suppose. Because there's some lyrics and he's just like, this is a little too depressing, and kind of takes away from what you're trying to say here. And I was like, yeah, I guess. Like he's helped me a lot with that. I've never had that like talent of being able to like pick stuff out like that. And he's very good at making like a clear image for it. So I guess I did most like the melody, and then since we produced our own stuff, we did that, and then he just like sang on it with me.
Yep.
And like we just love it. So
Was there a rhyme or reason to which songs you've chosen to release?
Yes. We are planning on releasing our debut album in 4 parts.
Okay.
So this will be the first part, and it's more electronically driven.
Okay.
The second EP will not be. And we've already started working on the second and the third. So
Oh, okay.
we're getting there. Yeah. We've been in the studio since March. So
yeah, we have a lot of material.
Yeah.
It's just
A
about
lot of ideas, it sounds like, you know.
yeah, we write
Yeah.
about. I would say about every day.
we do.
Yeah, but it's just it's like force of habit, I guess. Like it
sure.
just, I have to like get it out, or I hate that feeling of like forgetting about it. Even if like anywhere I am, I'll have to like record it on my phone or like
Yeah.
write it down so like I can like pick it up later.
Gotcha.
Because like the best ideas we have for music are ones where like we're in completely inconvenient situations, or like when you're like 2 seconds about to fall asleep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
No, yeah.
That's awesome. So you said that this is going to be this will be the first release, and you're working on the second and the third, and there's a
Right.
fourth.
Yes, there will be a 4th, and then we'll be releasing the album with all of the singles from each EP and new material next summer.
Next summer. Gotcha. So what's your timetable in terms of all these EPs?
The first EP will be out in January.
Okay.
The second single comes out November 30th. And it'll be available on all the digital retailers. So
All the usual suspects.
Just Google it or like
It'll come up. Yeah. Very cool. Well, we wish you continued success, and as always, you know, you're pretty much a part of the show, whether you want to be or not, at this point. So Second Alibi, by extension, now is a part of the show. Congratulations, wonderful.
Thank
so,
you.
So look, you're part of the family now. Kind of like a mob, only not really, with no violence and well, whatever.
You can't leave.
You can't leave. Yeah, once you're in
There's
your
no
head, it's
leaving.
something. I don't know. Anyway, I digress. But
Okay.
okay. Adam knows how weird I am, so I'm just a little. At any rate, well, thank you guys for stopping by, and congratulations on your work. And we look to hear more from you, and I'm sure that we'll have you on the show when you have more items to release. So we will also be mentioning all this stuff on queriestv.com, so check it out. And we thank you for stopping by, and we look forward to speaking with you next week.
I saw the sun